Well, my friends, it looks as though Australia has finally gone full retard.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Yes, the country which used to manufacture its own cars until it reduced tariffs and destroyed the manufacturing industry. Yes, it's gone even more full retard. That's right, the country where in just 20 years, real estate has gone from affordable to the situation where now young people can't afford to buy their own house. It's gone even further full retard. Yes, things have gotten worse, and let me show you how. You see, just recently, the Prime Minister of the country came out and said that gay marriage is an issue which every Australian adult should be allowed to vote on. And so every person who's enrolled is going to be sent a ballot in the mail, and they're going to be able to decide, do you think gay marriage should be legal? Yes or no? You would think that that would settle the matter. But no, no, no. The people who've been coming out for years now saying that everyone in Australia supports gay marriage, and there's a majority of support, they're now saying, oh, you can't have a vote on that, mate. That's not representative. I'm not making this up. Let's take a look at this right now. This is an article from the Canberra Times. Now, this is a Fairfax publication. You see, in Australia, we only have two major newspaper outlets. We've got Uncle Rupert, and we've got Fairfax. That's about it. I know it sounds insane. Australia's a beautiful country with many good things going for it, but when it comes to the media, it's nonsense here. It's insane. This is one of our two outlets, and take a look at this. Worst type of research you can do apart from robopolls. Pollsters rubbish postal vote. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull is selling the postal vote on same-sex marriage as a chance for all Australians to have their say on the issue. It's an important question. Everyone will get an opportunity to have their say, he said on Thursday. Well, I guess if every registered voter gets sent a ballot and they get to decide yes or no, that does look like people getting their say. So far, so good. There is a lot riding on the postal plebiscite. The government says unless there is a majority yes vote, it will not allow a vote in Parliament. But will the non-compulsory $122 million vote accurately reflect what Australians think about marriage equality? Australia's leading pollsters have rubbished the postal vote approach, describing it as a complete waste of money and the worst type of research apart from robopolls. They say if the aim was working out what Australians think on the issue, a scientifically sampled poll would be more accurate and could be done for a fraction of the cost. Former Fairfax pollster John Sturton says postal surveys went out with the dinosaurs because they were both expensive and difficult to get an accurate reading of what people thought. Mr. Sturton, who now works as a research consultant, said a high-quality survey of 2,000 people, using live landline and mobile interviews, supplemented with online polling for tricky-to-reach demographics, would cost around $20,000. So let's get this straight. They're saying that a postal vote, where every single enrolled voter gets sent a ballot, which they can mark yes or no, is not as representative as a 2,000-person sample size poll. Let's think about that logically. They're suggesting that if you take a small sample of people who are eligible to vote, that is more representative than taking the entire lot and letting them make their decision. I'm not making this up. Let's carry on with the article. A gold standard super survey that door-knocked 15 to 20,000 people in every demographic face-to-face would cost in the ballpark of $1 million. But Mr. Sturton said the results were likely to be the same, given the consistency of previous opinion polling on same-sex marriage, which puts support versus opposition at about 2 to 1. You're more or less likely to come up with the same numbers, which are likely to be more accurate than the postal vote.
You went full retard, man.
This is actually what is being said in Australian mainstream media, and you'll see all of the young people on Twitter and on Reddit saying the same thing. They're saying that, oh, a postal vote where every single eligible voter gets a chance to have their say is not as representative as a 2,000-person sample size opinion poll. They're actually saying this. People are actually saying this kind of thing in Australia in 2017. Gee, we want to get the opinions of Australians on this issue. We think it's only right that we get the opinions of Australia. Does Australia support this issue or does it not support it? Well, gee, we could ask Australians and let them decide, or we could have a 2,000-person opinion poll calling people up on the phone. Gee, which one do you think is going to more accurately reflect what Australians think? The one where all Australians get a say? Or the ones with a 2,000 person opinion poll? If you think that this is more representative of what Australians really believe, then let's follow your logic just a few meters down the line. Why even bother having elections? Why bother having an election every 3 years to decide the Prime Minister? Why waste all of the money involved in that? Why not just pay an opinion poll company to call 2,000 people on their mobile phones or their landlines and decide who should be the Prime Minister and the ruling party of Australia? If you think I'm kidding, I'm going to leave a link in the info box below. Go and take a look at subreddit Australia and listen to people and watch people actually parrot this nonsense, that they don't want this vote to happen this way because it's not representative. This is now the talking point of the pro-gay marriage movement. And of course, it's very easy to say that all of Australia supports this, so just pass it through Parliament. Don't let Australians have their say, just pass it when you've got 2,000 person sample size opinion polls to support your case. When that's actually put to the Australian people, when we're given a chance for a few weeks or maybe even a couple of months for people to discuss why they feel the way they feel and use evidence and facts and logic, all of a sudden getting a little bit nervous, a little bit jittery. Maybe we kind of overrepresented how popular this thing was. Gee guys, let's come up with some talking points to try and convince people this is a bad idea. Oh, I know. Let's tell them that letting everybody decide on this issue is unrepresentative.
Never go full retard.
What a time to be alive.